So I remember back in 2021, I was just considering going to a karate gym. One of the things that I was really into and I wanted to start going into martial arts. And so I was searching for, clubs and people or places that are around that offer this service of, okay, like I'm going to train you for karate. And I found one place that seemed to be really awesome. So I went there and I attended a free class just to kind of try things out. And of course, I loved it. Effort felt good and all this stuff. And my dad was basically just sat there watching the class. And so I went to him after the class and I was like, okay, like, this is really awesome. I wanna continue here. And just when I just when I basically finished this and I told my father that much, the captain, the guy who's like the leading guy in there and the guy who started the whole club, he comes up to me and he's like, well, you've got a pretty good physique, but we can certainly improve on that. And that was basically the first idea I'd have of just going and actually building a strong physique. And so from that time, I'd basically gone on and he started getting me to go into this like gym section of this karate gym. And back then I was like a 13-year-old, I didn't know shit. And so I started lifting and something about lifting just was different. Karate was awesome, but lifting just had a weird spark to it. It was almost as if lifting just felt better. It felt more masculine. It felt as if I was getting like some testosterone increases because of it. And truthfully, when I started getting into it a bit more, starting getting into it a bit more consistently, and I started seeing more progress, I started loving it more than just the karate part of that. And I would specifically watch myself as I literally went for the next 2 years, got a black belt, all for the sake of just continuing to go to the gym. Because I knew if I stopped, like my parents wouldn't get me to go to a gym. And they probably wouldn't find a gym that would actually allow me in. So from that time, I basically stayed in there and I really wanted to just continue on going to the gym until eventually, you know the situation. The captain basically fucks up with me because he basically he realizes I don't give a fuck about karate. What I kind of consider it to be as just crime is really just him deciding to infiltrate my safe zone. And my safe zone is basically just the gym part of the karate, which he then basically floods with all the little children. And so from that time I left. And this time was specifically at the very end of last year. It wasn't exactly in December, but it was certainly very close. And so I left that gym and I moved to an actual gym where I would realize some really different shit. So remember, I was a 13-year-old skinny kid. I certainly didn't know nothing about bodybuilding and all this stuff. When I moved in, I had 3 years of experience. And so I was almost like this weird magnet thing for people around me. And basically, it was quite strange, really. Like, whenever I'd walk around anywhere, it's almost like I was basically a magnet to people's eyes. Everyone was just staring around and always looking at me, with their eyes following me along. And the reason I say this was because I basically wore tank tops. And my physique was basically showing all the time. And those people looked at me with pure jealousy. And I think it was a really big motivator for me to realize that those last 3 years weren't spent on nothing. They were spent on me building this amazing physique in that old gym place. And of course, when I moved to the new gym, I got even more compounding results. And this was really only just my real, like, big beginning into bodybuilding. But it was what got me my aesthetic physique today. And so I'm very grateful for that. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story isn't because I just want to like tell you how awesome I am and I try to show off, but it's more so to kind of just get the idea across that achieving an aesthetic body can happen so easily, and probably what could take you 1 year instead of the 3 years that it took me, because I made a whole bunch of like stupid mistakes. I overcut, and then I basically just never bulked. I was basically a shithole, didn't track my calories, didn't do nothing. And so, even though it took me 3 years to build this aesthetic body, to be completely honest, it probably should have taken maximum like 1 year and a half. Shouldn't have taken all this long period. But issue is, when you don't got someone to guide you, when you don't got someone that has gone through what you have gone through, or what you're going through, it's very hard for you to actually be able to know, okay, like there's this next mistake that I'm gonna probably be making, I should avoid. And that's why I'm making this video, because young me would make a whole bunch more like success and a whole bunch more faster progress and much more efficient progress if he were to actually follow this guide. And so that's exactly why I'm making this. But of course, not everything is all rainbows and sunshine. When you're going to any path, not just this, there will be people who will try to oppose you. Whether that be people who you know in person, or people who are on the internet who are trying to just pollute your brain, or people all over the place. And it's really just, I think it's about really understanding a key fundamental in human interactions, that you just gotta sometimes ignore, man. Like, you've gotta sometimes just ignore all this shit. Just ignore all the staring eyes. Ignore the fucking skinny guy that's laughing in the corner. He probably's pointing his finger at you. And it's more so about just focusing on yourself. And this isn't really a pussy move. You might think it is. You might think, oh yeah, like that guy's laughing at me, I want to beat his ass and stuff like that. You know, to be completely honest with you, most of the guys in the world, they've got this aggressive mentality of, oh yeah, like I want to fuck around. And it's like, it frustrates me to shit. Because honestly, like, all of them are just fucking weak, man. And all of them listen to shit fitness influencers that'll lead them nowhere. And so that's why I really thought to just make this full guide, because there are people who will oppose you. There are people who will pollute your brain with shit ideas. They'll tell you that like calories in, calories out, like that's the best thing. You don't need to be tracking your calories. You can bulk up without that stuff. It's like, yeah, but there's a better, more efficient way. Why should I listen to you? And again, like, this is a big mindset here. Why should I listen to you? Do you have the physique of my dreams? No. Then I won't listen to you. I'll listen to the guy that does. And I think this is the key point. But of course, it isn't exactly as easy as it just sounds, that, oh yeah, like I should just commit myself to the gym and eat some food and I'll be able to grow the aesthetic physique. There are some key stuff that you have to understand about doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. You have to understand that sometimes you better be getting off your ass no matter what it is. And I think just being able to build a good level of discipline, I think those are the main key constraints here. And honestly, I'll get into this just a bit, but one of the main key mindsets that you have to understand is find the constraint. Basically, I'll talk about it. You need to have the ability to find the constraint. You have to be able to have the ability to say, this is my problem, and I'm certain of it. So let's just get into mindsets. So a key mindset you have to be having, and not just really building an aesthetic physique, but in all areas of life, is the infinite and finite game. So you see, there's this guy called Alex Hormozi. He's really famous in business and all this stuff, and he talks about this concept of applying finite rules to an infinite game, where he basically says that people will apply finite rules, like finite game rules, to an infinite game. Now, what's a finite game and a finite, like, infinite game? What are these two things? You see, a finite game is something like a game of football, where the players are known, there's like a certain time limit, and there's a certain goal that you have to accomplish in the game to be able to win. But for an infinite game, things are much more different because there is no time limit. The players, some are known and some aren't, and the point of the game is to keep playing. The point of the game is just keep on going and playing the game. And an example of an infinite game is really just the gym. You see, you don't know all the fucking bodybuilders in the world. You certainly don't know all the bodybuilders in your gym. You don't know all the gyms in your country. And it's, some players are known and others are not. There is no certain time limit. And the point of the game is to keep playing. As soon as you say, I quit, as soon as you say, I'll stop after 20 years, well, the point of the game is to keep playing. So, technically, even though you've been playing for 20 years, you're still a loser because you have an end to the thing that you plan to do. And so, a key question to ask yourself is, do you intend to stop? Do you intend to stop doing this at some point? And if the answer is yes, then you better not begin. Because it's like, it'll just be a mediocre waste of time. And again, this goes back to purpose. If you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, you're basically going to be shallow. And so it's like, the point of the game is to keep playing. You need to understand that I will keep playing this game for the rest of my life. I'll be this fucking like 80-year-old guy who still shows up to the gym consistently and still does his workouts and still maintains an amazing physique. Now, as you're going on with this, you'll soon start to realize this thing that starts to occur in your life. And it's called the shiny object syndrome. So, after watching this video, you'll have a solid plan, okay? You'll have a solid plan of, okay, I want to do this and then that and this and that, and I'll continue doing this, right? Issue is, shiny object syndrome exists in people. And it's basically just you moving from one plan to the next in hopes that this plan isn't really the good plan and then that plan is better, or that plan will get you faster results instead of this plan. And the simple truth is, changing plans will only slow your progress, no matter if you think this plan is better than that plan or whatever. And certainly I'm not telling you to not do what you want to do. I'm just trying to just warn you from this thing that will keep occurring. It's a pattern where people who will say that, oh yeah, like I can win, I have like full confidence that I will win, will simply just go on and start, and then as soon as they start, they move from one plan to the next plan, to the next plan, to the next plan. And they make no progress because they're moving from one plan to the next plan. One day they're cutting, the next day they're bulking, one day they're doing push-pull legs, the other day they're doing like bro split. It's like, settle on one thing and just do it. Like, stop fucking moving around, stop fucking like just ADHD tendencies. It's like, just calm the fuck down, stop having shiny object syndrome. And I just really need to just point this out, that it's a key fundamental to life, that you will not make any progress if you're switching plans all over the place. If you're switching exercises every 2 weeks, it's like, bro, chill down, actually just get some fucking progress, see if this thing works, and then you can change. Why just change from the first fucking day? It's like, you didn't even fucking commit to anything. So, this is kind of something to keep in mind, that as soon as you have a plan, whether that be by this video or you don't want to fucking watch this video and you just want to watch something else, you need to just understand this fundamental of life, that you do not change plans. You stick to a plan and you see if it works. You don't change the plan. And you could tell me, okay, like, what's the optimum fucking like change time? It's like, bro, just settle on it. The least you'll do is a month. It's like, just settle on something. It's like, what? It's like are you that ADHD like symptom fucking shit? Are you that like slow on attention span? It's like, just chill and just fucking do one thing at a time. Finally, a skill that you'll need to develop, something that I talked about just a bit earlier, which is finding the constraint. You need to be able to have this skill of looking at your physique and saying, okay, what is the constraint of my physique today? Well, see, I have pretty small quads. My quads certainly need some work. My calves need some work. My biceps are certainly pretty small. My triceps are really good, but my biceps are really bad. And probably my neck as well. I look very skinny, TikTok boy neck. It's like probably need to be growing my neck and training it. And you just have the ability to critique your physique and just being like, okay, like this is my constraint. This is really like this is the worst thing on me. I don't really have like some thick shoulders, and so I need to be working on my shoulders. And just really, I think this is the main thing. Being able to identify your actual real constraint and actually fixing it up. For a long time, I talked about this when I made a morning chat on how I grew my shoulders. Shoulders was the main biggest thing for me. I was like, they were basically the weakest part on me. And they were very small. I was very like skinny, like piece of shit. And basically, the way I discovered it was I'd look at myself and when I'm posing, I'd just be like, okay, like, why is it that I feel like I'm super small? And I'd basically like then realize that it was my shoulders. Like, whether that be that I just standing like this or like I'm not, it was always just that my shoulders just didn't have much width. They weren't really rounded. They certainly didn't have much shape. So I immediately started working on them, started spamming lateral raises all over the place. And eventually I grew my shoulders to literally being overgrown. Like right now I have like a whole bunch of fucking stretch marks all over my shoulders. Mainly really just because of how much I trained my shoulders and of course the bulk, which we'll talk about just later. So before I jump into our next section, I kind of want to explain to you exactly what this video is going to be about. So in distilling my 3 years of experience, I decided that I wanted to make a framework to make this a whole lot easier. And the framework I called LAAT. Learn, Adapt, Ascend, Transform. And basically, this is really all about trying to give you first, and learn, you learning the key fundamentals to building an aesthetic body, and then adapt, which you basically start implementing this, you start trying to find like your sweet spot in this, and then ascend, which you'll basically start to get better at this, and then transform, where you start seeing progress, and eventually you'll build the aesthetic physique because of how much transformation you've gone through. So let's just get into learn, okay? We'll talk about some basically the most fundamental, basic things you have to know. And this is probably going to be the biggest section in this video, really because of just how much value I'm going to be spamming at you. So grab your notebook, start writing down some fucking notes, because this is some valuable shit. This is probably going to save you hours and hours and hours of you scrolling on your like YouTube, searching how to bulk, how to cut, what does bulk mean, all this stuff. Because I'm basically going to be distilling all this stuff right here in this learn section. Okay, let's just jump into the first section and learn. How do you bulk? Or I should say, what is a bulk in the first place? So let's first just explain these 3 terms, okay? The bulk is basically you realizing that you're a skinny bitch and deciding to put on some mass by eating more. Cutting is you realizing you're a fat bitch and simply skimming down on food to simply like get more lean and shredded. And maintaining, of course, is just maintaining your same weight right now. Of course, like you could basically be training more, you could be fat and you would want to like maintain, but of course these are like very rare cases. Maintaining is really just when you kind of like just want to keep your like physique on maintain. You don't want to really like be putting in too much work, and so you would basically just be keeping on maintain, not really like going for way too high shit, okay? So how do you actually bulk? Well, as I've explained earlier, you simply just need to eat more. And of course, I just have to point this out. You need to be eating more, and specifically you need to be installing an app for calories. This won't really like you. People think this is so complicated. All you have to do is just add in the name of the food that you ate today and just simply eating more food, and this thing will just simply track it for you. So there's this app called MyFitnessPal. You basically install this app, and basically you immediately go in there and it will tell you set your goals. And unless you are obese right now, you need to put it on gain muscle. You need to be bulking if you're not fat. If you're not obese, if you don't got like a huge fucking like breasts and like fucking huge shit, if you're not obese, if you don't consider yourself to be obese, if you don't got like obese arms, you need to bulk. That's simple truth. Like, as sad as this may seem, you'll tell me I'm skinny, fat, and whatever. It doesn't matter. You need to bulk. And so basically, you'll install this app. It'll set it on gain, and it'll tell you to place like a weight. And I'd say roughly place it above, like I'd say probably maybe 10 or like 7 to 10 kilograms above your weight right now. And you would basically then just like set it. It'll give you some calories that you have to be hitting daily, and you would basically just try and hit that daily. Of course, it'll also tell you like, should you be gaining that like in a shorter period or a longer period? Like, what do you want? And honestly, like, the shorter the period, the better, just so that you won't get stretch marks and stuff like that. But going back to the bulk, you'll simply just, for all of these really, just follow your calories. Like, if you're obese and you want to cut, you just follow your calories. You say, okay, I want to lose weight. You tell the app, I want to lose weight, and my goal is just to lose weight. I want to go 5 to 10 kilograms, like, lower than my weight right now. Okay, sweet, like, just calculate my calories. It'll calculate your calories. It'll tell you to eat this much a day, and you just eat that much a day. It's that simple. And for maintain, it's the exact same thing. Just put that input in. And of course, coupled with that, you need to be doing intense training. No matter if you're bulking, cutting, or maintaining, you have to be doing some intense training. Now, of course, for maintaining, like, the amount of sets per muscle group, which is basically like means, okay, like how much sets are you doing for each like muscle group? So biceps, triceps, chest, like abs, for each muscle group, how much sets do you require? For maintaining, you'll require 2 hard sets to failure per week. And then basically, if you want to grow, you'll just do anything above that. And the higher and the more amount of like sets and reps, the better. And the amount of exercises per muscle group, like the more you increase it, the better. That's basically the key fundamental. You need to be doing intense training. And of course, it'll probably show up somewhere here, but basically I'll put you this intensity lecture, and it's basically all about just how do you train intensely. Like, I say this a lot, but the biggest constraint in bodybuilders today, or people who are trying to build aesthetic physiques, is they don't fucking train intensely. They're just training, like they're just doing this. They're not really doing shit. They're not really like feeling their muscles. They're feeling a little burn in their arms. They're dropping the weights. It's like, bro, be a fucking man. Like just fucking do something with your muscles. Just like actually build some fucking like muscle and be intense with your training. I talk a lot about like tips that I've used to really help me. And you see, like the reason I think compounding results like that I got in like the last 3 months of being in my new gym, the reason my like results compounded so much is simply because I was training more intensely. I learned this, and this was probably one of the main reasons why I like gained my physique to be even better than what it was. Of course, let's just not fucking forget that you also need to be having some real good recovery. If you're sleeping 2 hours and you're expecting to put on some muscle mass, then you better think again, because you need to be sleeping some good amount for your muscles to actually recover. Of course, shortnesses are completely fine. Do like take some protein that has some BCAAs. That's like basically like a type of protein shit, and basically it helps your muscles recover better. You can also take like L-glutamate and all these things. Honestly, I wouldn't really go too deep in it. Just have some stuff that have these things in your protein, and just like have a high quality protein. I have like this isolate, like iso weird shit. Just basically, I think it was, I forget the fucking company, bro. Just basically, yeah, just some fucking protein, bro. It's like, just get any fucking random protein. I'll talk about supplements in just a bit, but basically, just be having sufficient amounts of protein, not just from like the actual protein supplement, but more so from eating meats, from eating like actual good amounts of fucking meat. Like honestly, like I think meats are just like things that are you need to be eating more of. And of course, I'll talk about optimal diets and stuff like that just in a bit. But of course, you need to be understanding. You need to be having sufficient amounts of recovery, so sleeping, uh, basically like 8 to 9 hours, maybe even 10 hours, and more so just really focusing on getting some protein in and having some sufficient amounts of recovery. Now for mixes. So as you're going through your fitness journey, you'll probably want to see like you'll see the bodybuilders. Like you look at Sebum, you look up fucking Ramon or whatever, and all these guys they're basically like doing bulk cut, bulk cut, bulk cut. So in the winter they bulk, in the summer they cut, stuff like that. What mix should you be following? Well, the mix that like the best mix that I think of, honestly, is just either completely keep bulking or bulk maintain, bulk maintain, bulk maintain. So let me just explain this, okay? Why do bodybuilders bulk and then cut? Well, they do that because they have to show up on stage and they need to be lean. Well, are we showing up on a Mr. Olympia stage? Me and you aren't. Or at least not right now. And so what we need to be understanding is these guys are very advanced, that they need to be shredded in order to actually show up on the stage. But we don't really need that. And so instead of doing that, what we'll do instead is we'll just keep bulking. Because the simple truth is, I didn't mention this earlier, bulking is simply like this state where you'll be heavily built, like putting on more muscle. Like on the cuts, sure, you'll put on some muscle mass. It's just the bulks, man. The bulks are what really like are putting on the mass. Like for the first 2 years of my fitness journey, I never bulked. And in my third year of basically like going to the gym, I started bulking without counting my calories. And all those years were wasted. It was only like the last like 6 months of that period where I genuinely took the gym seriously. Started tracking my calories, started eating my calories, started training intensely, and that was the period that I built the most amount of results. It was when I started bulking, that was when I put on the most muscle mass. And that was when I started seeing my abs, when I started seeing my huge fucking aesthetic physique, huge chest, huge shoulders, massive biceps, all this stuff. And so I found some key optimal mixes for this. You either just keep bulking, and I think this is the best one, or you can bulk, and then whenever you need to maintain, you maintain. Now, my best friend, he does something else. He bulks for like six months, and then he maintains for 1 month, and then he bulks. For whatever reason, I don't know, like there's scientific shit behind it. I never really asked him. But what he does is basically he bulks for 6 months straight, and then he basically stops, and he stays at his weight for about a month, and then he basically continues bulking. And I mean, this guy, he's fucking huge. I don't know if it's because he's a bit shorter than me, that's why I think he's huge. He is fucking huge. He has some good shoulders, bro. He's like, fuck, bro. He might be watching this video, but honestly, it's like, bro's wild, and he taught me a lot about the gym. And obviously, I'll talk about this in just a bit, but gaining a friend really, let me just go on it right now. Gaining a friend when you're in the gym, of course, it'll be quite difficult when you don't seem like a usual. But as soon as you seem like a usual, a lot of guys will actually be quite attracted to like your way. They'll probably like come at you. They'll probably like be okay, like can I hit a set with you and stuff like that. And also, I think it's worth your time to really try and invest your time and your effort into having a gym bro. Like I found that having a gym bro just makes life so much fucking better. Now, I mean, obviously, for me at least, I train alone, but that's only because I find that to be my optimal like thing. Of course, I do have a lot of friends in my gym. Like I have a lot of fucking friends. They're like a lot from school, a lot who are just showing up in the gym, and I just happen to like know them, and I just say hi. But it's like really like the gym is just such a fucking amazing environment. If you're like coping with okay, like should I be starting the gym and stuff, like just watch what like some of my morning chats about the gym. I really like break a whole bunch of limiting beliefs. I find those to be like letters to like young men who just are on the borders of starting the gym. And if you didn't catch it already, you will have to go to the gym. Like this is probably like a no-brainer to me, but I probably should have explained this earlier, which you need to be going to the gym consistently 6 days a week in order to actually like put on any muscle mass. And so it's like, I know this is like some weird shit, but like some people really cope around, they'll be like, I don't want to go to the gym. It's like, no, I don't want like some big guys or like half naked, like just be training and screaming like, like right next to me. Honestly, like, don't you not? Like, I know it frustrates you. I know, like, they're like, oh, like, this is, like, why is he screaming and all that stuff, bro? Guess what? The reason you were saying that is because you want to be like him, but you never was told that you have to do this in order to be like him. There's some weird shit, like, I'm getting way too deep in this, but it's like, I really just need you to understand that the gym is a really fucking awesome place. In fact, if you talk to that guy who was like doing like just fucking hitting his set, that guy will probably be super fucking friendly, like probably like big brother level friendliness. It's like people don't really like, they just judge based on looks. Like they let their fucking natural gut instinct just thing lead them thinking that this fucking big guy's evil and he wants to like murder your parents or something. It's like, bro, this guy's fucking like he's awesome. Like he's a random fucking dude who's training his fucking physique. And I think the mentality of I have no enemies really seems to just work so well. Most of the guys that go to the gym, they have like mental health problems and they're like, oh no, like it's just like this is so bad and all these guys are really fucking bad. Actually, all those guys are the exact same as you. They're fucking just awesome dudes who want to build their physiques. And so, like, this is just a side rant, but I actually get to know people in the gym. It's awesome stuff. Now for the best exercises. I'm just going to basically walk you through what I deem as the best exercises for each muscle group. So let's just start in chest. For me, I find dumbbell presses, so just going on a dumbbell press, just doing dumbbell press, which is basically just lie on the bench with two dumbbells in your hands, just basically go on there and you just start doing dumbbell. And obviously, I'm sore as fuck, but I think I can show you the form pretty well. And basically, just do that. That's it. Like that's the exercise. Just doing this, and I think it's really about just focusing on the grouping, like of just I'm trying to just fucking explain this. It's like actually just focus on getting your elbows together like this, you know? This really like this movement seems to really help. Just trying to actually like really focus on the grouping, all that type of stuff, you know? And really chest is just the grouping, like you trying to group like your hands together almost. I also like incline dumbbell presses. So basically you would just adjust the bench to be right about like this. You'd basically then lay down on there with two dumbbells and you basically do the exact same thing, but like up to the sky basically. So like you know how you did it basically, like you were lying down and you were just like that. You'd basically just do that, but more so like this. Just basically doing that. Basically just as you're like on the bench. And I would also just do this quite a lot. And really like, I mean, the first exercise is mostly just to build the whole chest, but it's more so general focus. The second exercise, the incline one, it mainly focuses on the upper chest, which really just gives you some good fucking like look to your chest, like this very tapered look. Also, I really like pec decks. They're basically just you like going on this machine is like has like two handles there, and you just group, like that's all there is to it. You just group your hands together. I mean, obviously, like our machine's pretty fucked up. I'll basically say this. Like if you put the half pin in there, it basically like fucks up the whole fucking thing. So I mean, that's just kind of like a tip. Just like don't fucking put the half pin if you have like techno gym fucking equipment, unless you have like the new shit, unlike ours. But it's like yeah, and also this is quite a rare one for me. I used to do these ones, but nowadays I don't really do them. It's just dips. I mean, I used to really like them for chest. Honestly, they don't hit as good for me these days. Still try them though, and of course, like all these exercises, don't just see like how I'm like fucking waving around my arms and just be like, oh yeah, like I should do this. It's not like that. You have to actually like watch the form. So basically, I said the exercise names, actually write down like the exercise names in the YouTube search engine and just watch some fucking shorts, bro. Like there are like 20-second fucking clips of just some guy that's fucking showing you the exercise. Just watch some of those. Look at the exercise, look at their form, and just simply imitate them. That's all there is to it. So now moving on to biceps. Basically, I really like preacher curls, which are basically like these machine, like it's this machine with a weird fucking like thing. Basically, just put your hands on there and you just really focus on getting your biceps activated. It's really like the preacher element is just what makes it so good. You can do free ones. I mean, I prefer the machine ones, honestly. I just prefer the like basic machine. You can't really like do shit with the barbell. It's just stable, and you can actually just focus on just grouping and focusing on the actual biceps. Also, you can do dumbbell hammer curls. So just basically just doing some good hammer curls, really focusing in on the movement and really just focusing on trying to get some thickness to the biceps. And I just like to finish things off with seated machine curls. Now, obviously, I basically like what I do. Like this is like machine has like two handles. I hope you can see my hands are basically like right under, and just basically you just really like focus on getting this shit in, like this. And really, I think for biceps, it's quite clear. Just do this. It's like anything that hits your biceps that when you're doing this is just awesome, you know. And so really, like that's basically exactly what I would think. Now for shoulders, I like cable lateral raises. So just getting the cable from right behind you, and then you would just basically really focus on a good shit. I mean, obviously you wouldn't be seated; you would be standing. You'd like basically just take it from right behind you, or like if you had like the handle from the side, you'd just do this. You'd just be holding here, and you'd just be leaning a bit more. I love this fucking exercise. Probably one of the main reasons why I got such huge shoulders. I also like to do dumbbell front raises. I like to do just usual, just really focusing in on the good front of like your shoulders, just basically just right over here. You really want to focus in on it. And then obviously, I really like doing Smith shoulder presses. So you basically would just place like one of the like seats, and you just basically like would place the bar right behind. And you would just push, and really focus in on pushing the weight upward. And then of course you can just do rear delts. You can do them on the same pec deck machine, just moving the thing like around. But honestly, I don't really like it like on the pec decks. I much prefer just doing cables, just getting two cables and really just focusing in on getting a good just like that, just really focusing on that. And yeah, that's basically it for shoulders. Now for triceps, I really like cross body tricep extensions. So you just basically get two cables, you just basically like hold them here, and then you just really focusing in on just really just this movement. You would keep them here and then extend, keeping these stable and really just focusing on this shit. And of course, like you just basically, for all these again, like you just have to fucking watch some form videos. When you're watching the form of someone else, you'll just be able to see that shit. Of course, you can also have like some kind of personal trainer to just look at you and watch you and specifically be telling you, okay, just don't move your arm. Like you need to, when you're doing bicep curls, just keep your arm stable here. Don't move and stuff like that. Stuff like that, guidance and personal coaches definitely do help. I also really like doing straight bar tricep extensions. So just getting the straight bar, stabilizing, and then just doing this, you know, just pushing downward. I load on a whole bunch of fucking like heavy weights on there, and I just start doing this. Really helps the fucking triceps. Also, dips. So for dips here, you wouldn't really be doing the classical like leaning in dips. You would be more so doing a bit more straight back and just really pushing in downward instead of actually just doing this. You know, just more so going for the shoulder, like chest type of activation. And of course, the last exercise, I don't really like do this one anymore. I like it just used to hit for me back then, which is basically overhead dumbbell extension. So you just basically, you just hold the dumbbell, you place it here, and you just extend, and that's all you really have to do. Of course, yeah, I mean, having a personal trainer definitely does help. For back, what I really like to do is simply first I would start with the really wide lateral lat pull downs. I just basically put the really wide like bar thing. I just basically be pulling it more, so really just focusing on this. Now, of course, a really good variation of this is also doing like the behind the head, just really focusing in on just activating the lats. For beginners, I'd say like the behind the head's definitely really good, but for more so intermediates, I'd say the like more so pulling to the front would be a better option. Then what I would do is I'd basically switch to the neutral grip, which is basically just this like wide weird thing. It's basically you would really focus on just really squeezing your lats. I think this is like the main thing about back, just squeezing your back. And then of course I would just more so put a close grip, and I would just just basically do the close grip thing, just trying to really get the lats activated. And of course, I do like machine rows. I don't really like barbell or all that stuff. I just like machine. So I would sit down on like the row thing, just like this. I just basically, just focus on trying to really like activate my lats and my mid back and my traps as well. And of course, just I mean, if we're gonna talk about traps, just basically I really like just dead ass shrugs, like just dumbbell shrugs, just hold like two heavy dumbbells and just do this. Helps traps certainly a lot. And of course, I have to mention exercise that I used to do back then. It doesn't really hit as much for me these days, but back then it really used to hit it for me. And basically, what I used to do was just like cable ground just rows, where I just basically like place my feet like on these weird like things. I just basically would just do this with like the close grip thing. It doesn't really hit it for me anymore. It certainly used to hit it for me. I just don't find that it does these days. And then for legs, I like to start with calves. So just doing calf raises seated, preferably like machine seated, like calf raises, just classic shit. Then I'd basically move on to the hamstring curls, specifically the hamstring curls where your butt is up, like your butt is just basically like this, just up. And you would just basically be doing like the ham curls, really just focusing in on trying to get a good squeeze. Think of your hamstrings as like your biceps. You know how you would do this with your biceps? Think of your hamstrings as the exact same thing and just really visualize the good squeeze. And then after that, I would just move on to leg extensions. I'd basically just do some good leg extensions, just on the machine, casual shit. I used to do them with like the weird like stabilizer thing. I just don't find the stabilizer thing helps, to be honest. But definitely, like, I mean, obviously your gym might not have like the stabilizer thing. If it does, then so be it. Like, you'll have to fucking use it. But honestly, it's like, yeah, you'll definitely have to fucking experiment around with this stuff. And of course, a good exercise that really built me like my legs was just squats and leg presses, and especially squats. Doing full squats, like these were bangers, bro. I mean, honestly, the reason they don't really hit it for me is because I've did them way too much. I got used to doing squats all day long, and so it's like they basically became like almost like a joke to me. For leg presses, like that's a different story, but it's like I really like fucking squats. Squats were the biggest builders for my legs. Now moving along to the best diets. So I'll split this into two different sections. The first section focuses on the best diets for cuts, and then the other is just best diets for bulks. So for bulks, unfortunately, you have to just be eating way too much like shit food, which I just basically say is just carbs. You have to be eating way too much carbs. Of course, we can definitely optimize a bit for our health, which is basically just removing sugars and stuff like that, which is why I think the complex carbs diet definitely seems to work really great for bulks. And so basically what you would do is just basically, I mean, complex carbs are really like rice, bread, and specifically bread that doesn't have sugar, like oats, like just these things that are like basically like complex carbs. Of course, don't be going around eating fruits and all this stuff like that. These are really fucking unhealthy shit. And just focus on eating these complex carbs that are like basically better, or at least like the best option between carbs. So the next diet is basically low carb and then no plants. So no plants whatsoever. Like, I mean, you could just technically say, oh yeah, like, but like oats and stuff like that, like, and fucking grains. Oh yeah, like these are like plants. But honestly, I would kind of separate them from classic plants. Just try and avoid plants as much as possible. Don't eat fucking fruits. Don't eat vegetables, and mainly just focus on eating grains. So eating fucking oats, eating like bread, eating pasta, eating fucking rice. These things are okay. And of course, you can lower the amount of food you eat from those, like calories you eat from those, and mostly focusing on eating carbs, eating calories from more so like fats or protein, like, meats, even fucking better. But chances are you probably won't be able to manage that. And so you can very well sneak in a whole bunch of carbs and still be making sufficient amounts of gains on your bulk while maintaining your health. Now, for cuts, it's a bit more different. You've got to be restricting food a bit more, which means you probably have much more opportunity to have a healthier diet. So, the best diets, at least in my opinion, are carnivore diet, basically eating only meat and maybe some fats. So, maybe like, like coconut oil or fucking like butter. Specifically, the butter has to be not vegetable oil butter, but specifically like butter that's 100% made from milk. And then also like, like olive oil, whatever you want, bro. Like just like classic fats, preferably without those, but like how are you gonna cook the meat? Like just boil it and eat it. Like very dry stuff. Of course, no spices, just like salt, just basic stuff, right? Carnivore diet. You can research this more. Hear from a doctor called Anthony Chaffee. This is the best guy to hear like carnivore diet advice from. You also got keto, which is a bit more classic. Just eat fats. You can also like eat vegetables. I don't really agree with the idea of eating vegetables, to be honest. I don't see the benefit. But of course, like some people like to eat vegetables. Sure, you can eat your vegetables. Honestly, when you're cutting, you can very well, just because like, I mean, they like vegetables help you to not eat because they're basically like they're low carb, they're low calorie options, and they don't really have much calories. Even if you ate like a whole fucking like 7 salads a day, you would probably still wouldn't like be shit on, right? Okay, well, how do you train? Well, we've got basically two types of training that I would recommend. So depends on really your stage. If you're a beginner, complete ass beginner, what I would recommend to you is basically starting on high reps, slow reps. So doing slow but high amounts of reps, and really trying to just focus on a good squeeze, really squeezing in on the muscles. And of course, like for muscles that require a whole bunch of just good squeeze, it's going to be much easier for certain muscles than others, right? Of course, I prefer that you would be doing low to moderate weights. So maybe like doing progressive overload. If your max is 20 kgs, maybe going for something like starting at maybe 7.5, taking it to 10, and then maybe to like 12 and 15 max. I don't really say going above that, just because you're doing high reps. Now, when I say high reps, I don't mean doing like 15 reps. I mean doing the minimum, like 15 reps, and then the maximum's like more something like 30, 35. And honestly, the higher reps you can go, like don't exceed 35, but really just try and always just look at the higher numbers. Now, of course, for some exercises, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I even though I'm a very like I've been in the gym for like 3 years, probably even more now, but I still like focus on hitting some slow reps. But the thing about being intermediate is that it really depends. Like, what have you been doing in your past years? Have you been focusing on doing like just heavy and really like trying to throw around? If so, then changing the way you train to the exact opposite is the best way. Now, for this goes for all. So if you're really like this, the guy who trains really slowly and you're really focusing on good squeezes with low weights and high reps, Well, why don't we change that? And why don't you start hitting some heavy, intense, fucking like berserker fucking like sets? Just do the exact opposite of what you're currently doing if like you're intermediate. Now if you're a beginner, completely ignore this, right? Of course, for both of these stages, you need to be hitting failure in each set. It does not fucking matter. You need to be hitting failure in each set. For a beginner, it's going to be quite easier than the intermediate guy. Of course, it's going to be much scarier for the beginner because the beginner is going to be like, oh, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to hit failure. Like, it feels really bad. Feels bad, makes you more gains. Just, that's it. Just fucking keep hitting failure. I know it hurts. I know it's going to get you sore next day. That's the whole fucking point. If you don't want to be enduring the pain today so that you'll get the fucking pleasures and amazing fucking beauty tomorrow, then that's your own sacrifice. So now on to diet tips. So let's just start with bulking diet tips. What I would say is you need to be doing some kind of bulking shakes, or perhaps not even bulking shakes, but just putting in a whole bunch of ingredients into something. So, for instance, a bulking shake, you could just basically like be putting milk, olive oil, oats, like crushed on oil, oats, banana, protein, cheese. Like you can put so much shit in there. Fucking yogurt. You can literally put so much shit in there in your fucking like protein fucking bulking shake, and that thing will be fucking full of calories. These things can get up to like 3,000 calories, which is literally like a food, like a daily intake of food, which is ridiculous. And so, like, not just with that, really, you can also just not be doing bulking shakes, but instead you could focus on something like eating a whole bunch of sandwiches. Like, what I used to do, I used to basically make up to like 7 or 8 sandwiches a day. Like, that was one meal of mine, and I'd basically eat like 8 sandwiches. And what I would do in those sandwiches, specifically, I just fill them with cheese, like 2 slices of cheese, a huge fucking like piece of bread. I heat that shit up and just slug it in my mouth. And that really helped me bulk up a lot and put on some massive gains. Of course, I also like would do really high calorie, like I'd put a whole bunch of olive oil in my sandwiches just to increase some calories in there. I'd eat like be drinking alongside them something that's very high calorie. Now, of course, do be aware of the sugar and all this stuff. I don't have to warn you from this. It's like, just be aware of sugar, really bad shit, you know? But besides that, really, try to fit in as much food as possible in one bite. And the simple truth is, you need to be eating more. It doesn't fucking matter. All they got, like, the skinny guys will tell you, I've got a fast metabolism. It doesn't fucking matter, fast metabolism, all that fucking shit, bro. Just eat more, bro. Eat more. You know, I'll give you a tip. Never eat more than 80% of your, like, full stomach's, like, capacity. So you'll always be hungry and you'll always be eating. That will allow you to eat a bit more, but just eat more. Just find like some weird productivity hacks. Just eat more. That's like literally just fucking spend so much time just literally focusing on trying to eat more and discipline yourself. Like literally like slug in like food, just like almost wanting to throw up, and just eat more. That's the key fucking thing here. And please, bro, just don't be eating low calorie foods. Like, don't eat fucking eggs, bro. Like, eggs, they don't got no calories. They got some good protein, yeah, sure. Don't eat eggs. They don't got fucking good calories. Like, one egg's like, what, 60 calories, bro? Like, also, it's like, they don't got fucking calories. They don't got a fucking good amount of calories. Be eating some heavy amounts of fucking calories. So, like, I've seen, like, my best friend, like, sometimes does this. He literally like drinks a cup of olive oil, and it is disgusting. It'll make you throw up. But bro, like, that's the level of extreme you want to reach, where we're literally like drinking fucking like cups of olive oil. And of course, it's not really good for your health, but it's like that's good for your fucking calories because now you're fucking completed that shit. Honestly, in my opinion, drinking 1 cup of fucking olive oil is better than eating like a fucking cheesy McDonald's fucking shit. Like, at least in my opinion, right? And so just don't be eating low calorie foods. Don't eat fucking lettuce. Don't eat fucking like just spinach. Like honestly, even like all vegetables, honestly, like fruits, they're really like good fucking like because basically like, one piece of fruit's like 60 calories. But it's like even then, like they're not really that huge amount of thing. I mean, for honey, like I mean, one fucking tablespoon is like 50 calories, but it's like honey, like issue is just fucking sugar. It's just like you have to kind of find your balance. Of course, limiting sugar input, like don't fucking turn obese by eating fucking like just chocolate pieces. But it's like really focus in on just actually like optimizing your sugar input, not taking too much sugar in, but at the same time still making some sufficient amounts of eating by like just eating more good foods. Now for cuts, this is like my profession to just really like just fucking provide you with this shit because I love cuts, bro. Like cuts, honestly, I just love when I'm on a cutting period because I basically have the freedom to do my work. You know, the problem with bulking is that it basically makes bodybuilding the main priority. And like you're all basically just you're eating carbs and you're brain dead. You can't really like fucking like you burp in the middle of the video as you're recording. It's like these are pretty shit stuff, you know? And so really it makes bodybuilding the priority. And sometimes that's not really bad, but it does hurt the work. And so that's why I'm really just kind of saying this. When I have cut periods, I'm so excited because I get to do my work. I get to go on carnivore. I get to just like not eat and stuff like that. Now, how do I do this? Well, I have purpose. I have something that distracts me away from food. If you don't got purpose, you're just gonna keep eating, snacking, and doing all these things. And so honestly, you need to have some kind of like ultimate goal when you're on cuts. Just focus on something else and get distracted. And also something I found that really helps is intermittent fasting. So right now I didn't fast it. I only really like drank a cup of coffee. But I'm fasted. I don't eat nothing for the first like what 6 hours of my day. It's like simple truth is that's what helps me make so much fucking like cut gains because I basically like I'm fasted the first like 8 hours of my day. Not to mention like sleeping, of course. Like you're gonna be fasted throughout sleep, and then basically just eating meat because even though you eat meat, like it's very hard to be eating too much meat. And so honestly, it's like just kind of find your sweet spot in there, honestly, and you know use these tips of intermittent fasting and like have going on like low calorie diets, keto, you know, carnivore stuff like that. Now for the big boy supplements. I talked about this just a bit, but honestly, I probably should be showing you my protein, bro. Fuck, it's like. Yeah, bro, I completely, I can't fucking remember the name of that fucking company, bro. Bro, fuck, bro. I can't fucking remember the name of that. Okay. Just get some fucking protein. Get any protein will do. Preferably get some isolate, not some concentrate, because concentrate, they'll add you some carbs, not really good stuff. So there are like basically two types of protein, concentrate and isolate. And then obviously you've got like casein and whatever, fucking just ignore everything. Get some fucking isolate whey protein and basically just fucking get that. Preferably it has BCAAs. Maybe if it has L-glutamate, that's really awesome. If it doesn't, too bad. Just don't like it's there's no fucking problem. Get some fucking protein. Start drinking the protein after every single workout. So after every single workout, you simply drink the protein. Try to drink the protein as soon as possible after the workout. Preferably if you can just take it with you, like soon as like you're waiting for your dad to come and you're just drinking the protein, that's awesome. Of course, beware like it's like spilling all over your fucking bag, but you know, I think you can manage that stuff. And of course, like be drinking sufficient amounts of water and all that stuff. Then what I would say the second supplement that I would recommend, creatine. Anybody could do, like take creatine. It's not some fucking crazy shit. 5 grams of creatine, 1 scoop. Take that in water, drink it. That's it. Simple shit. Of course, like there are different companies and whatever. Just experiment with that, with whatever one. Try and find one that actually melts in the water because these are like the high quality ones. That's preferably the best one. Of course, it will taste a bit more like just weird, like fucking shit. Just drink it up really quick and just fucking move along. If there's some extra bits in the cup that stay, fill it up with more water and drink it. Or you can do my technique, which basically, whenever there's like stuff that's basically left over, just try and keep a bit more of water at the very end, and then just basically like drink up, and then just do this, like moving the water, not really swallowing it, but not really like letting it fully like go in the cup, and basically just keep moving the water in there, building momentum, and then you just basically swallow it, and you'll swallow it with the creatine. That's like a weird technique I developed to drink my creatine. And also just take some salt. I used to take it in like a tablespoon of honey. Just put a whole bunch of salt, like 2 pinches of salt. Take that before your workout, and then just basically go to your workout. You could take it in water. I just don't like how it tastes, so I just take it in honey. Of course, if you're like avoiding like honey, even better. But you can also just like dry scoop it. So basically just like put some 2 pinches of salt in your mouth, drink some water on that, and move. Try and find your key balance. Some people's stomachs will get irritated by the salt, like, you know, taking the salt all of a sudden. And if it does, just like, I don't know, eat 1 piece of bread. That's like what I found really helps. Like 1 piece of bread, it'll calm down your stomach. Drink some water, you'll be good. Of course, you can also just go to like the fucking like shop place, the bar in the fucking gym, and just like get some random fucking like, I don't know, like some snack or something, just fucking protein bar or something, you know? Of course, I don't recommend eating protein bars. They're full of sugar. They're full of bullshit. They're processed. They're absolute fucking trash. Don't eat that stuff. Of course, if you need some fucking protein, like you can't fucking access it, sure, one time every like 7 months, fine. Unless you like, you're basically just like fucking having some kind of optimization that allows you to eat that, don't fucking eat that stuff, okay? Now for some training tips. So, I've talked about this, I've covered this a bit more earlier, but I kind of want to go a bit more in depth into it. And basically, it's pushing through the pain. You see, you will feel some shit tons of pain. Like when you're like doing rows and you're just really like doing this, you will feel so much fucking pain. But the whole point is that you push through the pain. Like, imagine yourself as the protagonist, and he's literally like running through the fucking fire or whatever, and he's hurt. He doesn't give a fuck. You think like he's, oh no, like pain, bro. Listen, your muscles will fucking hurt. You will feel lactic, like fucking weird shit build up in your fucking muscles. You won't fucking feel okay. That's the whole fucking point. If you fucking feel like some shit ton of pain in your calves, push through, because the more reps you will do in failure, the better. Like if you can, honestly, I was recommend this right now. Honestly, I was planning to recommend this a bit more later. You need to be watching Sam Sulek. It does not fucking matter, bro. Just watch Sam Sulek. Watch 1 episode of Sam Sulek. Look at how the fucking guy trains, bro. Bro, like, he feels so much pain. Do you think he gives a fuck? He doesn't give a fuck. I started training like the guy. I swear to God, I put more muscle on like in that month than every other month before that. It's just because you need to be training intensely. You don't train intensely. You've gotten used to your fucking intensity. You're so fucking comfortable. You don't, like, you need to understand this. You need to fucking put more intensity. You need to push through the pain. Of course, it's like another thing that Sam Sulek does is he measures by the pump. This is like some very advanced shit. But he says don't count sets, don't count reps, don't count nothing. Just reach failure, do as much reps as physically possible until your body literally like shuts you down. That's what you need to be doing, and you need to be measuring by the pump. You need to simply, like, however much your pump feels full, if it is not like a balloon, you cannot even extend your arm because your biceps like super pumped, that's a good level. And anything like that's below that, you have to be basically adding more sets and reps and exercises in order to actually be giving the muscle sufficient amounts of intensity. Honestly, I really like this. Just basically, I kind of created this. I don't know if someone said this before, but just don't be a fucking mathematician in the gym, bro. Just, and actually, like, I don't give a fuck about your mathematician. I don't give a fuck about your fucking like just. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shut the fuck up, bro. Just actually fucking focus on intensity. Don't fucking count. Don't do shit. Just focus on the good stuff. The good stuff is building muscle, not fucking just 1, 2, 3, 4. Ow. No, that's not how it is. You need to be fucking not counting, just fucking spamming fucking shit. Like, do you think our ancestors, when they were cutting fucking trees, did they count how much times they strike the fucking tree? No, they just kept fucking striking till the tree fell. That's exactly what we need to do, but to our muscles. That's exactly how it is. Now for the probably like one of the more important fucking parts of this. Best training split. The biggest debate on earth. If you're a complete beginner, just start with a bro split. If you've never like you don't know which one to choose, just start with a bro split. Research that. Basically, just you do one muscle a day. So you do one day chest, second day biceps and triceps or biceps, third day triceps, abs, shoulders, legs, back, whatever. Right? Just do a bro split. Okay. If you're more intermediate, then you need to do the exact opposite of what you're doing right now. So if you're doing a bro split and you've been like doing it for like a while, well, change onto push-pull legs. If you're doing push-pull legs, change onto a bro split. If you're doing a weird fucking like complicated schedule, change on one of the other two. If you're doing one of the two, then just change on to that one. Just change your fucking like training split. That's basically all there is to it. Just change it. If you're an intermediate guy, just change it. Change it. See how it goes. Try and completely reverse the way you train, and chances are you'll make more progress doing that. Of course, if you're a beginner, you don't really understand the shit. Basically, push-pull legs is just focusing on pushing movements on one day, pulling movements on the other, and then just doing legs on a separate day. For basically just like bro split, it's doing chest one day. You could do arms. I like the arms instead of just doing bicep, tricep type of thing. So just do arms. The next day, shoulders, back, legs. That's basically how it is. And then you've also got like some more complicated splits, which are basically like chest and biceps, shoulders and triceps, back, legs. Like, there's just some weird fucking programs. Honestly, you know what I do? I just do fucking Sam Solik type training. I just do whatever the fuck I want to do. That's basically how it is. But I've reached that point only after like 3 years of experience. So definitely, like, until you build the instinct that, okay, like, I'm doing this because this is the good thing for me and I know exactly what's good for me and what's not, preferably just stick to a good fucking program that actually builds you some good gains. So when do you take some fucking days off? So you're feeling tired, you're feeling sore, you're sick or whatever. I'm sleep deprived, didn't sleep well. Can I not go to the gym today? No, you can't. You have to go to the gym. That's the simple truth. You have to be going to the gym. You have one rest day a week for a reason. That rest day is for rest. Every other day is you going to the gym. No matter if you're sick, no matter if you're whatever, scientists will tell you shouldn't be going to the gym when you're like sick and whatever. Honestly, I think you should go just fine. Go to the fucking gym, train just fine. I tried it, I've done it, I don't give a fuck. And yeah, you can tell me infections and all this fucking bad shit. Honestly, I'm a selfish as fuck guy. I'm the type of guy that will fucking train no matter what it is. So honestly, fucking train, bro. Just train, never take days off besides just your casual rest day. If you want to know how you like set your rest day, just basically set the day that you preferably like don't go to the gym. So for me, that's Friday because I'm basically really busy on that day, and so basically I don't go to the gym on Fridays. All other days I go to the gym. Set your own like rest day. All the other days you commit to the gym. That's it. One day of rest day, of course. Okay, so you're demotivated. You're not really feeling like going to the gym, and you don't know what you're supposed to do. You're really demotivated. You're not really feeling like it. You're coping around. You're like your fucking lizard brain is telling you shouldn't be going to the gym, and you're arguing with your lizard brain. What are you supposed to do? Well, I want you to kind of do this practice where I want you to get a sheet of paper out, and I want you to at the top write your main goal, write aesthetic body, write my dream body or whatever. And then I want you to write every single reason that you wanna like get this physique. Write as much reasons as possible. And whenever you're feeling demotivated, or just read that fucking paper. Because that paper will remind you why you got started. Because why did you get started? Because you wanted the fucking physique, because you wanted to be stronger, because you wanted to be getting the eyes of the girls, because you wanted to be fucking the biggest guy in your fucking tribe, because you wanted to be this fucking massive fucking guy who gives his gift by fucking being this authentic fucking huge bodybuilder. That's why. Okay, write all your lists because it'll help me. Attractiveness has statistically been proven scientifically that it helps people. People who are attractive and who've got better physiques are actually better at work and they get accepted and their employment rate is higher and all that stuff. Okay, write that down. Write all your list down. And every single time you're feeling demotivated like a piece of shit, read that fucking document. You can do that on Notion, like electronically, or you can just do it on a piece of paper and you could hang that on your wall or something if you're a psychopath like me, you know? You can also just minimize the task. So you could tell yourself, well, I'm not gonna go to the gym today. But what I'll do is I'll wear my gym clothes and I'll stay in my gym clothes. And in a weird way, that's a much easier task to do. And so you'll wear your gym clothes and then just simply tie your fucking shoes, get the fucking bag, and move to the fucking gym. That's it. That's like, minimize it in your brain. Tell yourself, oh yeah, it won't take much. And that's it. And also, a good rule that I found, the 3-second rule, which basically just, you're sat there, you're arguing with your brain, right? You're demotivated. You want to go to the gym, but it's like you're demotivated, right? Okay, say 1, 2, 3. And literally just fucking move. Just literally like fucking bop out of your fucking place. Go wear your fucking gym clothes and move. That's it. Don't fucking argue. Your brain will tell you some fucking random shit. Your brain made you watch porn. There's a reason your brain's fucking fucked up. Because your brain is basically been fucking polluted by everything around you. And so don't listen to your fucking brain. Just simply get up, wear your fucking gym clothes, and leave. That's it. You could also just have a whole bunch of visual reminders. So what I really like for this is more so having a whole bunch of like things that will remind you. So papers that has like aesthetic body written, or like a whole bunch of quotes, like just quotes. I have this in my room. I called this the wall of mentors. I made like a morning chat on this. And basically it's full of just pictures of my mentors. From Hamza to like Kevin Levrone to Andrew Huberman. All these guys is all over my room. And I've got a whole bunch of quotes. I've got a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm really interested in. I've got like a picture of me in the gym. My biggest like gym pic. And all these really just like, I've gotten those because they motivate the fuck out of me. Like just today, I wasn't really feeling like getting up and recording this at like 3:30 a.m. I still got up because I literally, like, I woke up, opened my eyes and got out of bed, looked in front of me. What did I see? I saw my mentor who's fucking jacked as fuck. And I saw me like right next to him posing like a fucking man. The biggest gym pic I have. And it's literally like the fucking like picture of this channel. And there's a reason that I'm like in this position right now. That I've got this aesthetic physique and I'm all over the place. It's because I've been able to discipline myself to go to the gym enough times that I basically got my aesthetic physique. And so write your own goals on the wall. Write some quotes on the walls and really obsess over these. Whenever you're demotivated, literally just stand there like a psychopath and look at the wall like this. Just literally look at the wall, look at your goals and just be like, I want that fucking physique. I want that fucking physique. I don't give a fuck. I want that fucking physique. I'm willing to fucking chase that shit. Think I'm fucking stupid? No, I'm not fucking stupid. Guess who's gonna be stupid? The guy who doesn't fucking chase that shit and ends up like a fucking fat bitch. Search fucking Nicocado Avogado and just look at this guy. He's a fucking fat, obese fucking shit. Look at this guy. Do you want to be like him? You don't want to fucking be like him. Okay, then get back to fucking work. Go back to the fucking gym. Do some fucking shit. That's just how it is. That's simple truth. That's how you get motivated. And I mean, you can very well do what I did. Of course, it didn't really cost me much. It cost me like what, like $30 to literally like have like wooden fucking like just wood, literally pictures on wood. Like it cost me like $30 to print like 15 quotes and pictures. Like 2 of them huge fucking pictures. And so it doesn't really cost that much. Just find some like good shop that will sell you that stuff. They'll give you like an offer for that. And just like put some quotes on your walls on like wood. Put like some pictures of your mentors, some like really thick bodybuilders that you admire. Sam Solik maybe, like Kevin Levrone, Ronnie Coleman, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just put some good pictures of these guys around your room. And whenever you're like demotivated, you won't even fucking like notice this. When you're motivated, you will want to be like, you'll be even more motivated. And when you're not motivated, you'll be somewhat a bit more motivated. And so like it's a win-win. Like in either way. So just do it. Like if you've got like a bit of savings for it, just do it. If you don't, then just save up for it. Honestly, like it's a really good investment. Certainly something that I've enjoyed like living in because it's made me enjoy my room more. Made my room represent me more. And again, if you're demotivated, watch Sam Sulek, bro. Like, look at how this guy enjoys the gym. Look at how this guy is literally like his whole life revolves around the gym. And just look at his physique, man. Like, look at how good this guy is. Watch this guy like on a like daily basis, and just obsess over this guy. Be like, oh yeah, like this is who I am gonna be. And just whenever you're motivated or you're demotivated, just watch a video of him, and that'll get you even more motivated. That'll get you up. You'll start wanting to fucking drive to the gym right now, and that's just how it is. And of course, in implementing this in the adapt stage, you will feel some kind of laziness. You'll certainly miss some days, you'll start coping around, you won't fucking follow this completely, and it's completely fine. When you're building a habit, you can't expect yourself to be 100% on it from the start. Of course, some people are absolute like titans and they can manage to do that. But let's just be honest, me and you, I mean, man, I missed the gym in the first period probably over like 200 days. I've just missed the gym. I mean, obviously, no, that's probably way too much. But it's like, you get the point, right? Like, I missed the gym way too much. And the main reason for that was because I just wasn't really motivated. But I mean, it's those days that I was demotivated and I still went that I really got more progress. And again, I told you, this wasn't going to be like super easy stuff. But this was going to be the stuff that was going to build your dream body. Literally like the biggest achievement that you can have. An achievement you cannot hide because it's literally your body. And so it will feel difficult. You will feel like you want to quit. But you'll have to push through that. And that's what will build you into the man that we want you to become. And of course, like you will ascend. You will start to enjoy the gym. Like, do you think that the pro athletes, do you think that I don't enjoy the gym these days? Like, you cannot guess literally like the best part of my day. I have a lot of fucking awesome parts of my day. The best part of my day is always just the gym. It's always just hitting my exercise. It's always like that. And the simple truth is it's literally because it's literally my fucking like my life to just go to the gym and like fucking lift and feel like an awesome fucking man. And of course again, people will start to acknowledge you. People will start to look at you like this from right away. Girls will start looking at you in a slutty fucking way. You'll start getting some weird ass fucking texts on Instagram of literally girls like fucking being hung over you. And it's all because of just getting the aesthetic physique. It's just some weird shit, like certainly some weird fucking shit. But honestly, I think it's just common sense. Like, do you think the guy that doesn't work on himself will get girls? Of course he won't. It's the guy who works on himself. It's the guy who pushes through. It's the guy who's willing to fucking put in the sacrifices that will get all the attention. Guys will start looking at you differently. Guys will start to respect you. Guys will start to fear you in school. And I think this is like the life, like honestly, my life couldn't have been the same if I didn't have this physique. I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful I put in all this effort, and I'm so grateful that I continue to do so, and that I have this infinite game mentality. And of course, you will build your discipline. This is something that will require a whole bunch of discipline the first couple of days we're doing this. But over time, it literally becomes like a hobby. It becomes so easy to do it. It's because you built your discipline. Now, of course, something about this, we definitely need to be making it a bit more harder when we build our discipline. But this is just kind of something to enjoy and to realize that you're literally becoming more of a man when you're doing this. And that's the pureness of this. And of course, you transform after a solid while. You've been doing this and you've been consistent. You transform, you start seeing how your physique is literally like even better than those guys on Instagram who are posting their like naked pictures. You start realizing that, okay, like I'm actually fucking huge. You start getting people who are asking you for gym advice and stuff like that. You start becoming this, you start building this mentality and this identity of a man. It's so weird. You basically build an identity of a man, and people start to respect you. People start to actually listen to your words. Some weird shit, like, who would have thought, like, building a physique that looks big and strong actually, like, would get people to listen to me and respect me? Weird shit, right? And again, The longer you stay in the game, the more compounding results you will get. The more you stay in the game, the more the multiplier increases, and the more that your sessions become more and more and more effective at building you muscle. And that's the beauty of it. It's this ultra dopaminergic video game that's called life. And that's what we're playing. I know this is a very difficult period to go through, especially building the aesthetic physique and really just trying to put in the commitment. And so that's why I offer coaching. Coaching, basically, I've got two types of coaching. You can go on one coaching call with me and I'll help you out on specifically just one problem you're facing. Could be a problem about like life in general, or it could be a very specific topic about life. But really, what I do in my coaching is I help you as much as possible. Of course, if you've seen my old full guide, the last full guide I uploaded, you would know that I basically am doing like free coaching call. The first coaching call you will get in the next 30 days will be completely free. The first coaching call is free. Obviously, I also offer a coaching package, and the coaching package is basically like a 3-month mentorship where I basically hold you accountable. I watch your progress. I help you along. You can text me anytime, and I'll respond to you in less than 5 minutes. And all this, I'll build you like a game plan specifically to get you through to whatever goal you seek. And all of this really just to try and benefit you the most as possible. And obviously, like, the main reason I give you a free coaching call is really because I want you to try this. Because I know that out of my own experience, if I tried some kind of coach and I knew he was good, I would definitely come back. And so I want that for you. I want you to try me out, and I want you to see if this works for you. And that's why I've given you a free coaching call. And so you can claim your free coaching call by going to the description and DMing me on my Instagram. Just simply send me a message. I want to claim my like free private one-to-one coaching call, and then we'll discuss basically, okay, like what is your goal? What is the problem? What do you want me to help you with? We'll hop on 1 hour and I'll help you with your problem. Of course, all that stuff, all nice and settled. And so that's basically what I want to kind of just get across. Basically, the guys who do mentorship with me, they basically they're like, I'm always getting them to basically take pictures of their like form in the gym. So they're basically just setting their phone aside and they're recording themselves. And basically I rate their form and I help them out with a whole bunch of these like weird sophisticated things. Just this like little elbow raise when you're like just doing the bench press and all of a sudden you've got like a better thing, weights, training methods, all these things, diets. And so I definitely recommend that you claim your coaching call first, your free coaching call. You simply try me out, you see all this stuff, you see that I'm actually like gonna help you out. And then from there you can simply advance and ask me about my coaching package, or then we'll discuss the details specifically. But in any case, that's kind of what I want to go through. And again, I just kind of want to tell you that this process, although hard, will literally change your life. It will change everything in your life. Nothing will be the same. Your happiness resides on this, and the respect of others, and your literal place in the hierarchy of the world rises. And so I really need you to just put your dedication onto this. And I really need you to just say, yeah, I'm gonna get my fucking aesthetic physique. Implement all you learned in this video. And I hope you were taking notes on this, because these are some really valuable stuff. But in any case, that's kind of what I want to go through. I guess I'll see you in the next full guide. And so, I guess I'll see you, bro.